G'day folks, welcome to another battle report. I did plan, as you can see over here, I did plan to do a American War of Independence game, but unfortunately this part of the country has been subject to flooding and been under a bit of a state of emergency, so I've had to spend quite a bit of time on the chainsaw cutting my way out of the property. I've still got more work to do there, so I haven't got a lot of time for gaming at the moment. Work's also very busy, but I thought I could come down this morning and crack out a quick game of Triumph and get that posted up, so at least I'm putting something up on my channel. So I haven't walked away from it or anything. I've just, life's conspired against me to do too many videos. So today's game, I thought with the advent of the changes in the new rules, the Chinese provinces aren't quite as strong as they were before, so I thought I'd get them back out on the table, and I thought I'd put them up against the Scythians. Here's the battle card. I've rolled up for both armies. The Scythians invaded Chinese territory and they went for arable as opposed to hilly, and then the Chinese outmaneuvered them, and this is the terrain card that they pulled, and they ended up putting a village here, a ploughed field there, a gentle hill, a stream and a forest. I'm not sure if the stream can actually go through the forest, but I put it there anyway. So let's get the camps are out, a bit basic because I'm a lazy camp man. I haven't built camps for those armies yet. Just another thing I need to add to the list of millions of hobby things to do. Let's get everything deployed and get into the game. Right, we're all set up, ready to go. Here is the Han Chinese army. It's a little bit different to the last one. Over here you've got two bow levy, you've got three pavises this time, general on his chariot, three horsebow, a skirmish stand, a light foot, two jav cav, and some horde hiding in the village, eating all the provisions. I think their plan will be to move the light troops into the village so they can leap out into the flanks of any cavalry that come up. When I played the Assyrians against my Scythians, I talked a big game. I said the Assyrians were jacked and they should smash the Scythians, and they actually got destroyed. So I think the mistake I made in that game is I came forward with my heavy foot, and that created too long a line for the Assyrians to defend. So maybe the Chinese advance up to the village and then try and hold the line here and stave off any attack that comes around the village. I think the stream, which is probably just out of shot, is pretty safe because there's a great big forest here as well. Over to the Scythian force, it has 10 horsebow and 2 elite cavalry. The elites are the ones with 3 on the base. There's the general there with his standard, and there's another elite there. And the rest are horsebow. I think they're going to come forward. The provinces might be a hard nut to crack. The general's down this end because he wants to try and stay in contact if we send these guys around the village. I think our best hope might be to swing this way and go around the village, and I don't think we'll crack through the middle there. All those troops are pretty good at facing horsebow. Having said that, I said that when I played the Assyrians, and that didn't really turn out that well for me. Right, let's crack into the first turn. The Chinese are the advantage player, so they'll go first. They'll be using a black dice for the game. The Scythians will be using a white. Let's see what sort of pips they get. 4. So I think for 4, they'll spend 2 pips and move their light troops into the village, and then they'll spend another pip to move their majority of their force forward, keep moving only 3 to keep pace with the provinces, and then the last pip they'll have to spend to get these guys out of the rough. So there's their 4, done and dusted. Over to the massive horse, and they're also up for a 4. So I think they'll start by moving these boys up here for 1. The problem with moving these lads around is if they get out of command range because of that village, it's going to get painful for them. Another 1, I think that'll mask those guys. And I think these boys will just come forward to there. So that's all their pips. So they're going to try and work the flanks. Back to the Chinese. 1. I think all they'll do for 1 is turn their lads to there, because they know someone's coming around there and they don't like it. Over to the Scythians. 3. That's 1. Two. The horse moves slower in the village and they're at -1 and they will panic if they lose, but I mean, I'm putting them there just gonna try and keep those guys in the village honest so they don't turn around. We've got one hairy little pip left, and I think with that last pip we'll move this guy out to here just to confuse and bother the Chinese. They don't want to get outflanked, so they're now kind of stuck there. Alright, let's see what the Chinese can do. Try the right coloured dice. 2, not much. That has confused them. They Okay, for their 2, I think they're just going to turn these boys to here, and then they're going to single element move him up to there. So there you go. There's their 2. Back to the Scythians. Right, 6 pips. I think. Oh, there's otherwise perfect plan foiled by the rules. I was thinking that this fellow could get to there and that fellow could lap in. But of course, as soon as cavalry hit rough going, they're limited to 3 movements in total. So I can't do it. I can't do a cheesy little move where I move down here and then slide across, because I've already used my movement allowance. I think he's going to go to there. This cost me 1. Two, 3 left, and we've got problems developing down this end of the table. I mean, this guy can't quite get in unless they spend a lot of pips, and he ends up going in there and he comes across to here, and well, they could get nasty there. Bother. We've only got 3 pips, and these guys are out of command range, so it's going to cost them too many pips to do much. The other option is that they just go bugger it and go in, because I can only get 1 out of trouble. There's a couple of options thinking about it. Option 1 is I go in and try and fight the jab cav on a better factor, although will get overlapped. And if I can beat something or kill something, then I stand a chance of surviving, but I think it'd probably go horribly wrong. Option 2 is to maybe put pressure on the centre and hope the Chinese haven't got the pips to get, because I'd need 3. They'd need to go in there for 1, 2, and then head lap around for 3. Oh, there is one more option. And that is to spend 2 pips and to turn to here. And that way I cross all of their front lines with my front lines, so he can't actually lap around me. So that's cost me 2. I've got 1 left. Took some heavy thinking, but I got there in the end. I'm not quite sure what to do with that last pip, so I think we'll just sit. And go back to the Chinese. Let's see what the Chinese general can come up with for this turn. A 2. They're not doing too flash for pips. The boot's on the other foot, because now the Chinese have got some problems. They've got issues here with the lads in the stream. And they've only got 2 pips. If they had more pips, they might be okay, because it is tempting. It is tempting to go in there, but they can't reach. So tempting as it may be, it's bloody impossible. Do I make the same mistake I make with the Syrians, and do I just rush forward? They're teasing me out. No, I think what they're going to do for their 2 is they're going to spend 1 pip, because they can still see their commander, and they're going to go in there. They'd like to get that light foot that's in the village up on the in support, and leave the skirmisher to take care of the cavalry. He's not quite going to get there. But he could move. He could move a little closer for one. Let's fight. Okay, so, whoops. Let's go here because it'll be a 3-3. 3-3. That is a win. Oh, they don't go back that far now, do they? They only go back to here. Oh, that's good because these guys are 2. Plays 3 double overlap, 2-1. Could get a kill here. Someone's going to die. Someone did die. No. So 2 goes to 3. 1 goes to 7. Someone did die. But it's not who I expected it to be. And he doesn't come forward that far. Come on. Bit rusty. Well, that didn't go too well for the Chinese. Let's see if the Scythians can exploit it. Wow, damn. Not really enough dice to. This is going to cost them 2 pips to do anything there. We've got decisions to make because we could go in here. We've got 2 pips. We could go into there and bring this guy in support and start rolling the flank. But that would leave the lads down on the other side of the village hanging out to dry. But I mean, we'd have a good chance of rolling the flank there. And then, looking at this area, it's a pretty even fight, and we're only going to gain 1 stand. I mean, these are bow levies, so they're not worth bollocks down here, but we can get in. So I think we will. I think we'll go in there. And we'll bring this guy in for support. Can we, if we wheel, we can't actually wheel into there, because if we wheel to here, then we're going to go into them and zock. So we can only bring, I guess, I'm thinking we can only bring 1 in there. So there you go. There's my 2 pips. I rolled the wrong coloured dice. Oh no, I did. I rolled the right coloured dice. There's my 2 pips. We're going to fight down here. So, bow levy, horse bow, 2 versus foot. Bow levy are 3, but they're flanked down to a 2 and they're overlapped down to a 1. And they'll be dead. Now the Chinese are in some trouble. Now they need to pull it out. 4. Well, they've got a bit better roll. 4 pips. They need to make something happen. So I think they're going to swing their bow levy in for 1. I think the problem with this game is there's too much thinking going on. So we're just going to go in there. It leaves us completely open, but we don't care. We've got 2 left. I think we're going to swing around there for 1. One left, we're going to go in there. Bugger it. Right, let's fight. We'll fight this one first. Jav Cav here is 2 against horse. Bow levy is 3, but it's flanked down to a 2. And then it's overlapped down to a 1. So, same as it was last time when it killed something. Can it do it again? No, it can't. So, it must turn to face. And then it must fall back. And it can't, so it dies. So the Chinese are on the board. Here we go here. It's a 3-3, anyone's game. And look at that, it's no one's game. Slap for slap. The risky fight outside the village. 3 flanked 2. Three flank 2, 9, 5, but they must turn to face, and they can't withdraw, so they die. Of course, they're in a world of hurt next time, but that's all right. Last fight over by the trees. Bow levy a 3, horse bow verse 2. Oh, that's bad, because they can actually kill those guys. So that'll be a 7-3, that'll be a death. And they'll move forward. Well, the Chinese have turned the game around. They gave everybody a big slap that time and came racing back into the game. Let's do a quick flyby of the situation map. So the Chinese are looking quite good here. If they can get this boy in, it's actually the Scythian's turn, but they've got the numbers here. In the village, nothing's happening. This guy's in a world of pain. These two lines of last time when I played the Assyrians, I made the mistake of moving the spearmen up too quickly and expanding my line. This time I think I've done the opposite and not moved them up quickly enough, and that's given the Scythians time to work the flanks. But in saying that, I struggle to go forward with these boys hanging out there, because they're just going to come in on the side and deal some death out. The bow levy are changing that though, so let's go on to the Scythian turn and see if they can pull something out of the bag. 4. Wow. That probably goes without saying. That's 1. 2, I think the general will go in there. He can't get back for support. Actually, I think the general will go there, and this guy will come in here for a flank. So that leaves me 1 left. I want to protect this guy, but I don't want to get my main line too close to the provises, I don't think. So I think this guy's just going to come out and stop anyone getting into his flank. So I'm not moving my line forward. Alright, let's see how we go here with combat. Bow levy 3 down to 2 because they're flanked. Plays Horsebow 3. So 2, 3. Oh, that'll be a loss to these guys, but not dead. The general over by the village. Elite cavalry is 3, general 4. Plays 3, flanked 2, overlap 1, 4-1. That'll be an 8-2. Thanks for coming. And we've got one more fight here. 3-3. Anyone's game. These boys are going to go back. So it's now 12 points of Scythians are off the table, so they lose one more stand and they're broken. The Chinese are up to 10, so they can afford to lose a couple of stands. But they're slowly getting surrounded again. However, the bow levy did well last time and survived. Let's see what they can pull out of the bag. 4. Well, moves are getting easier because I can see a couple of moves already, and that's 1, 2, 've got 2 pips left. I think we're just going to move 1, 2. I really wanted to go in here, but this young chap is out of command range, so I just didn't have the pips to do it. In retrospect, that would have probably been a better move, because if I kill that, then that would be the game. Whereas, if I can... Actually, I'm not too shabby, because he can't withdraw, so this could be the game right here. The Scythians have outfoxed themselves. 3 plays 3, overlap down to a 2. If they lose, they die, because they can't recall. And they lost. Boom. That's the game. Chinese remain undefeated. Oh my gosh. I actually thought the Scythians might have taken that one. It seems my Chinese army is well hard. Right, well, if you watched it, thank you very much. Thank everyone else that's commented on my other videos and watched them. I wasn't really expecting too much, really. I've been having every second Friday off work, so that's where I started the channel. But unfortunately work's got busy, and as I say, I'll be busy with the chainsaw. But hopefully I can put together this American War of Independence game, and then do some more Triumph games. I am painting ancient armies flat out at the moment. But yeah, as they say, that's about all she wrote, so thank you very much, and maybe catch you in another one. Cheerio.